So what happened was, like, so I got to my trailer. Where I was filming was at a different location. So they sent a driver to come get me from my trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So the driver comes get me. They escort me to the location we're filming. I get out the car, and when I get out the car, I see like hundreds of extras. I see a lot of extras. So I get out the car, like everybody's looking like, who is that coming out the car? Who is that? And I'm like, wow. So I'm walking through the extras, and they're all looking at me like I'm just like this big child actor or whatever.
He said
So
big
like
child
that
actor.
so like
Baby face.
that was a interesting feeling. So I'm walking through the extras. They security escorts me up to set.
Uh-huh.
And when I get there, I see Donald Glover, and he walks over to me. He was like, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm Donald Glover," and he was like, "Me." He was like, "Me and the producers, we watched your audition tape over and over and over, and we just kept laughing and laughing and laughing."
I want to see it now.
Right. It's in the archives, yeah.
Yeah.
So then he was like, me and the producers, we watched their audition tape over and over and over, and we kept laughing. It was hilarious. And then he asked me, was I a comedian? I was like, no, actually, I'm not a comedian or whatever. He was surprised. He was like, oh, okay. Well, he was like, well, you know what, man? I'm not going to give you no direction. All I want you to do is exactly what you did on the tape.
Wow.
And I was like, let's get it.
Yeah, coming from the master, like, yeah, hey, take the reins. Hello, listeners. Welcome to another episode of the Career Pulse Podcast, your vital sign for career and business from everyday go-getters like you. I'm your host, Hayward Crawford. Good to have you again. And this is our official kickoff for Season 2. This is the season premiere, if you will. And we're going to be joined today by Orval Williams. Orval Williams, he's an actor and producer and rapper from Detroit, Michigan. His recent acting credits include co-starring on the Emmy Golden Globe winning TV series Atlanta, currently airing on FX Network, Season 2, premiering March 1st, 2018. He plays the role of Shorty Lucas, a.k.a. the country boy, on the Netflix original series Drug Lords. Drug Lords is based on the movie American Gangster, starring Denzel Washington, and goes in depth giving the truth of the story behind Frank Lucas. He has guest starred on the television series Homicide Hunter and I Am Homicide, both shows on the Investigation Discovery Network. Orval has also guest starred roles on the TV series Fatal Attraction, For My Man, and Justice by Any Means. All three TV shows are currently airing on TV One Network. Orval also has a YouTube channel where he's produced a series of short films, and he can also be followed on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Orval Williams. So what we discuss with Orval in this episode is part of it is being an actor, living below your means, breaking the myth and perception that all entertainers in TV are rich. We discuss his out of nowhere hit viral song called Detroit Baby, and which was based on his own experiences, and it even sparked a viral challenge called the Detroit Baby Challenge. If you look up that hashtag, and what's funny about that, it created a following all the way from Michigan all the way to Australia, based on that song. We discuss his experience and interesting encounter working with Donald Glover on the award-winning episode of Atlanta. We also discuss, we did dive a little bit deeper about him talking about taking your craft seriously, the dedication to playing characters that are completely opposite of him. Also, the power of relationships, on constantly working to become the best version of yourself. We dive a little bit in on that. And also some key takeaways he mentions is just things about living fearlessly, overcoming heartbreak, rejection, trying new things. So this is really a good episode for anyone who wants to know not only kind of like, the nitty gritty about, coming up in the TV business, but also some of the mindset and, mental toughness you have to have. We also discuss, getting uncomfortable, forcing himself to do things, the lessons of setbacks, and some of the setbacks of staying in the comfort zone of familiar. and what he did to break through that wall. And finally, he discussed a lot about being genuinely and unapologetically himself, along with some 3 keys that you could all overall take away from the episode. So once again, guys, help me welcome the one and only Orval Williams.
Hello?
Hello, Orval Hayward here. How you doing?
What up, dog? What's good? Hey, how
What
you
up?
doing?
Happy, what's the word I'm looking for? Happy Sunday. You know, I'm here in Detroit, having a little bit of overcast. How's it looking down there in Atlanta?
It's 68 degrees and sunny.
Okay. Thought you had a little little cold front go through there, but I guess it's subsiding at this point.
Yeah, it was some snow here. You know, all the people here they was freaking out, but
because they weren't used to it.
They're not used to it. It was cute. You know, they shut the whole city down for like 3 days. School was closed and everything, but
losing their mind.
it's back at, yeah. You say what?
Just losing their mind.
Losing their mind.
All right, so pretty much we're about ready to go. I'm ready to hop into it. I'm glad to have you here, Orval. You're our very first guest of this second season of the Career Pulse podcast. Our tagline here is your vital sign for career and business from everyday go-getters like you. So I'm excited, man, to have you on, and I'm ready to dive in when you are, brother.
Let's get it. I know it's been a long time coming. Persistency won today, so let's do it.
All right. So for our listeners just listening in who are just hearing this for the first time and hearing about who Orval Williams is, what do you typically tell people when they ask you what you do?
When people ask me what do I do, I tell them that I'm a professional actor.
Pro.
And you know, when I tell people that, of course they're like, okay, but what do you do? You know what I'm saying? But I explain to them like, no, I'm a professional. I get paid to do this. Am I rich? Am I famous? No, I'm not. But this is my career. This is what I do.
All right. Respect, man. And tell us a bit, Orval, about your early beginnings in Detroit and how that eventually led you down the path to first discovering acting. Take us back to the beginning, as far back as you want to go.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that long ago. It was January 2013, and I took my first acting class at the Michigan Actors Studio in Ferndale, Michigan.
Yes, sir.
That was my first time. Acting, experiencing anything, and that's where I got my start. I was there. I took about 3 classes there. I took improv, I took scene study, and I took it was like acting 1, 2, and 3. So about 5 classes there.
And what would you say the day in the life of Orval looks like from, the time you wake up until you go to bed?
Okay, well, I'm a regular person just like everybody else, you know what I'm saying? I wake up, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast, I try to every day. But my whole day is really focused on how can I further my career. So, like, I'm constantly, like, online, like, researching different audition opportunities or just anything that I can do to further my career and just put it more in motion. But to be like, let me just be a little bit more specific. Like today is Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Today when I woke up, I went to church.
Okay.
Today I woke up, I went to church. After church, I went to go get some food, and I went to the mall. I did a little bit of shopping. That honestly doesn't happen often for me. I don't really spend a lot of money besides food, but like I bought some clothes. I don't really spend like a lot of money as far as clothes on myself, but today was just one of those days.
Yeah, you gotta treat yourself once in a while, but obviously you stay within your means, I guess. What you mean? What you may be saying? Okay.
Yes, I always live below my means. You know what I'm saying? Being an actor, It's, the perception might be, all of us on TV are rich. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case for me. So I definitely try to live below my means and try to budget as much as I can.
All right. That's interesting feedback. Now, I wasn't aware, Orval, you were also a rap artist. Can you tell us a little bit more about your work, like in that space?
Yeah. So like I would say like I'm like a one-hit wonder. Like last year, 2017, I put out a song called Detroit Baby.
Okay.
And it's based on true events. It's the song. I'm gonna be honest with you. Is really raw. So it's really raw and visual and descriptive. But you know what I'm saying. I just talk about some of my life experiences living in Detroit on it. And it actually went viral on Instagram. Like I got a lot of people who support it.
Okay.
And I actually have a Detroit Baby challenge. Like if you go on Instagram and hashtag Detroit Baby challenge, you'll see I think I got close to maybe 50 videos of other people just rapping and remixing my song.
Let me. I'm looking up the hashtag now. Detroit Baby Challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know
Detroit
how that.
Baby Challenge. Yeah.
That flew under the radar for me. I don't know where I was. I was under a rock somewhere. Well, yeah, you got 105 posts.
How many posts do I got?
I mean, with the hashtag, I don't know if you got the trademark to it, but you got like 105 posts from the hashtag Detroit Baby Challenge. So,
yeah, that's all me. That's all me. Detroit Baby Challenge is all me. So yeah, I undercutted myself. Yeah, so I got over 100 posts of just people rapping and remixing my song. So I got a little platform for it. I even got people in Australia singing Detroit Baby. Like,
oh man, you got a movement going, man. I might have to come over there and come down there and shoot the official music video. You could put me on.
You know what's so funny, man? I've had so many people reach out to me wanting to shoot the video. Like somebody reached out to me in Canada and was like, "Yeah, let me shoot the video." I'm like, if I'm gonna shoot it, I gotta shoot it in Detroit. It's only gonna be fair. It's only gonna make sense.
Yep. But what's really funny, what I just thought about is like, how come no one has ever shot in more than one music video for one song? And I say that because like, don't people adapt a novel or a movie more than one way? You got more than one director. Why not disrupt the industry like that, man? Have a dude from every city shoot one. I don't know, just random.
You know what? I like that. That's brilliant. I like that.
All right, just give me the credit. Yeah. Give me the credit for that, Orval.
Of course. Of course, Hayward, you got it.
Throw me in,
You a Detroit baby too. I mean, why not?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Born in the city, grew up a little bit more on the outskirts, so kind of had my foot in two different worlds. Kind of the awkward black Cosby kid, and Blackish in the '90s before it was cool. So I was kind of like foot in two worlds. But now I hear you, man. Still Detroit. Still Detroit born.
Yeah. Of course. Detroit influences every suburb you've been to in your life. So
yep, that's true.
It just is. It is what it is.
Yeah. So, Orval, tell us about your current work on FX's network, FX Networks Atlanta. No spoilers, but just tell us how that experience has been so far. Whatever you could maybe tell us about season 2. Nothing too confidential.
Yeah, no. So like Atlanta, that show was actually the first network television show that I ever booked. It's, as far as having a speaking role, and that show really created a lot of momentum for my career. I got the audition through my agent. That at the time, I was living in Detroit, so I was out of town talent, and I got the audition through my agent. It was actually a video audition, so I had to put myself on tape and sent it in to my agent, who sent it in to the casting directors. But when I did the audition,
Mm-hmm.
it felt good. It really felt good. But it felt good, but I really didn't have no expectation. And at the time, like the boss man Donald Glover, if he ever
Mm-hmm.
hears this,
Right.
I wasn't that familiar and I wasn't that hip to who he was. I knew Childish Gambino, like I was hip to
Right.
like the
Mm-hmm.
song. I think it's called 3005.
Yeah, that was from
But
one
I
of his.
wasn't.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, but I really didn't know who he was. You know what I'm saying? So at the time when I did the audition, I did the audition. Long story short, sent in the tape.
Mm-hmm.
They booked me, and then I was like, wow. So my agent called me and was like, yeah, you're booked, and you're gonna have to be on set tomorrow.
Wow, just
I'm
like
in
that.
Detroit. I'm like, no. She was like, you have to be on set. No, you have a fitting tomorrow, and you
Oh.
got to be on set the next day. No, excuse me. I had a fitting that day. She called me, and I had to be on set the next day. I'm in Detroit. I'm like, okay, let me get on the first flight to the A. So I got on the first flight to Atlanta, went to the fitting. I got on set. So I felt like, I'm going to be honest with you, like that day, I really felt like a star because it was my first experience. Like, so I got on set. First of all, I had my own trailer. And
Nice.
that was like such a great feeling to me. So I had my own trailer. I got on set. Everybody knew my name. Like as soon as I got there, they already knew who I was, and they were approaching me and greeting me. Craft services was amazing on that set. It was amazing.
Yum yum.
So like. So what happened was, like, so I got to my trailer. Where I was filming was at a different location. So they sent a driver to come get me from my trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So the driver come get me. They escort me to the location we're filming. I get out the car, and when I get out the car, I see, like, hundreds of extras. I see a lot of extras. So I get out the car, and, like, everybody's looking like, who is that coming out the car? Who is that? And I'm like, wow. So I'm walking through the extras, and they're all looking at me like I'm just like this big child actor or whatever.
You said
So
big
like
child
that
actor.
so like
Baby face.
that was a interesting feeling. So I'm walking through the extras. They security escorts me up to set.
Uh-huh.
And when I get there, I see Donald Glover, and he walks over to me. He was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm Donald Glover. And he was like, me and the producers, we watched your audition tape over and over and over, and we just kept laughing and laughing and laughing.
I want to see it now.
Right. It's in the archives, yeah.
Yeah.
So then he was like, me and the producers, we watched your audition tape over and over and over, and we kept laughing. It was hilarious. And then he asked me, was I a comedian? I was like, no, actually, I'm not a comedian or whatever. He was surprised. He was like, oh, okay. Well, he was like, well, you know what, man? I'm not going to give you no direction. All I want you to do is exactly what you did on the tape.
Wow.
And I was like, let's get it.
Yeah, coming
whatever.
from
So,
the master, like, yeah, hey, take the reins,
So yeah, so we did like one take, and like for one angle, he was like, that's great. So then he was like, so then I had my own stand-in. That's when I really felt like, wow.
Yeah, you big
like,
time
I'm
now.
really
That's a big time moment. Yeah.
I had my own stand-in, so like
Wow.
we would do a couple takes at one angle.
Mm-hmm.
They would move me to the side, and while the cinematographer and the camera people were setting up, my stand-in would come sit in, and then like I had somebody putting a jacket over me, making sure I was warm and I wasn't cold,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. So yeah, like it's interesting because the scene that I'm in, the name of my character is called The Cool Man, and I'm basically on a rooftop. This is season 1. Episode band that actually won an Emmy. they actually won an Emmy. So I'm a part of an Emmy award-winning specific episode.
Which episode number is season 1? Because I haven't.
It's season 1 and it's episode 7, but the name of
7.
the episode is called BAN. BAN.
BAN. Okay.
Yes, season 1, episode 7, and it won. That specific episode won for best directing in a comedic television series at the Emmys. It also won Golden Globes and a lot of other awards. But back to the day, I was saying, yeah. So like, I had my own stand-in. I did a couple takes, and I was rolling Swisher Sweets on top
of course,
at a pool on a rooftop. You know what I'm saying? And it's so funny because when everybody saw it, they were like, Orval doesn't even smoke. Like, I've never smoked before in my entire life.
Yeah, haven't seen you smoke either.
And, yeah, so it was just hilarious for people to see me rolling Swisher Sweets. But I think that's beautiful because, you know, I take my craft serious. Like, I'm playing roles that are completely opposite to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? A guy from Atlanta that smokes Swisher Sweets. That's not who I am. So it was great to jump in that role. You know what I'm saying? You know, after we finished my scene, you know what I'm saying, Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, he was like, you know what I'm saying, let me get your contact information. So he gave me his iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I put my number and my email and all of that. He was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to use you again. And he actually introduced me to his parents. So I met his parents. They were also on set.
And Donald's dad has a big following online, too.
Yeah,
funny enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was my first time ever booking a network television show. And it was just an amazing experience. Now, as far as season 2,
mm-hmm.
I'm not returning season 2. I didn't come back season 2, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to necessarily see my character again in the future. And also, Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, he also is developing some other projects.
Mm-hmm.
So look out for that as well. I'll just let y'all know that. So look out for that as well. I won't be on season 2, but you need to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out March the 1st, and it's gonna be dope. It's really gonna be dope.
Awesome,
so,
great.
Yeah, shout out to the whole network of FX, the whole cast of season 1, 2, and forever of Atlanta, and thank you so much to Donald Glover for giving me my first opportunity on television, and it feels good that I got that coming from another young black male like myself. So another young black man gave myself my first opportunity on television, and I'm forever grateful for that.
That's great, man. That's an awesome story. Just seeing, like, bringing each other up, you know. Great stuff, man. Now tell us about your newest Netflix project, Drug Lords. You play the character of Shorty Lucas. Now, what are you excited about with this show? I see a lot of stuff with you online with this show as well. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this series, Drug Lords, is based on the movie American Gangster,
mm-hmm.
telling the story of Frank Lucas that starred Denzel Washington.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if you ever seen that movie,
yes,
but
I did.
Yep. Yeah, so it's telling, it's a reenactment documentary series, and the actual Frank Lucas and his family is involved, so they're really giving it to you straight out of Frank's mouth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure like how true is the film that Denzel Washington was part of, and I love Denzel.
Mm-hmm.
That's you the man, Denzel. But this series is the raw truth of his story. He's telling his own story, and it's also introducing the Country Boys, which they were also drug lords, and they were a separate entity
mm-hmm.
from Frank Lucas. And my character, Shorty Lucas, is Frank's little brother, and Shorty Lucas is actually 20 years younger than Frank Lucas. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm saying? But Frank Lucas inspired them to get in the game, to get into, you know what I'm saying, the dope business or whatever. I mean, we just gonna call it what it is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my character, Shorty Lucas, what you're gonna find out was actually he was more dangerous than Frank Lucas. You know,
Wow.
Frank Lucas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, he was more violent than Frank Lucas. You
Wow.
know
So
what I'm
like, as
saying?
if Frank had to keep Shorty in check, cause Shorty would go overboard or something like
Well,
that.
that's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
They were a separate entity. You know what I'm saying? Shorty Lucas and the Country Boys, they had their own thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But of course, they branched off from Frank. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. So the Netflix series is called Drug Lords,
Mm-hmm.
and it tells the story of Frank Lucas and the Country Boys, and I played the leader of the Country Boys, Shorty Lucas. And you know what I'm saying, Shorty, he's the leader, and he handles his business. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they're businessmen
Mm-hmm.
and the drug addict, and you know what I'm saying. They do what they have to do to take care of business. So this was my first time actually playing a real person.
Awesome, man. That's sounds raw, gritty. And where's the story? What city is it based out of? I forgot where Lucas ran his organization.
It's based out of New Jersey. You know what
Jersey.
I'm saying?
Okay.
New Jersey and New York. But
Okay.
you know, they ventured off down south, you know, to North Carolina and other places. But it's yeah, a lot of from my understanding, a lot of they made millions of dollars out of New York and New Jersey. They became millionaires during that, you know, during heroin. You know what I'm saying?
So they were kind of like
Yeah.
New York, Jersey's version of the Young Boys Incorporated, kind of like, you know, what we had in Detroit.
Yeah, but they did it. They did it on like they were like the first to really like. They cut out the middleman. You know what I'm saying? That's why their story is so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They had their product wholesale, and they were selling it, and they made millions and millions of dollars. And of course, with any drug story, the crash came. So yeah, you know. But Frank Lucas is still alive to tell the story. Shorty Lucas is not alive, but Frank is alive, and he tells the story.
Yeah, you said some
So
people.
check that out. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You go.
No, I was just saying. So you know what I'm saying, anybody listening to this, check that out on Netflix. All you got to do is type in Drug Lords, and it's the Frank Lucas story. It's episode 3, the Frank Lucas story. So check that out.
Okay, and how many episodes of their season are out?
Right now, Netflix put out the first 4 episodes, but it's 8 episodes total. But I think they're gonna put out the rest of the episodes in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, they just put out the first 4 episodes. So definitely check out their series on Netflix.
Yeah, it sounds hot, man. I mean, especially with Netflix obviously blowing up right now. I mean, you got Narcos, and that kind of brought in a new wave of the drug stories, and then like the John Singleton show. I think it was called Snowfall. Yeah, Snowfall. So yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody's on it, so I'm pretty sure that's gonna be blowing up, man. So people need to check that out. Drug Lords or Val's in episode 3. Now,
episode 3, the Frank Lucas story. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So tell us. Let's kind of transition in here, and I like to kind of get more into the nitty gritty as far as like, you know, when it comes to being an actor, as someone learning your craft. I think a big part of that, I like to have listeners, you know, not only get to know more about the person as far as their career, where they're going, you know, what drives them, but also what are some things they may do if it's better to, you know, that they're doing to better themselves, whether it's getting better in this area or that area, or things they do to stay sharp and to keep, you know, sharpening the axe, so to speak. So, Orval, how important do you feel is the area of like time management? And what would you like to kind of tell some people listening about how important, you know, managing your time is?
Oh, okay. Well, time management is a big part of the journey that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? And I can only speak for myself specifically, but I've made so many sacrifices to to pursue this career that I'm doing, and it is all about time management. And a lot of those sacrifices is, you know what I'm saying, is time, is relationships. And I'm a correlate that back to time management. Like my life moves very fast, and I'm constantly traveling. You know what I'm saying, for auditions and bookings, and you know what I'm saying, and a lot of time is getting away from, you know, a lot of people that I love. You know what I'm saying? So and that's some of the sacrifices I've, you know, just specifically with time. Like a lot of the time, all of my time for the majority is all put into pursuing this career. You know what I'm saying? My day revolves around acting, and that's how I have it set up. So time management, a lot of my relationships, family, friends, you know, lovers, you know what I'm saying, that I have in my life. If the ones that are in my life right now are understanding to that in my time management. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, paying the price, you know. Yeah, so tell me about, do you have any favorite books or maybe like podcasts or things you like to listen to get pumped up? You know, feel free to share.
You know what? As far as a podcast, I don't, but I really love battle rap. I know that's random, but like I love watching battle rap. You know what I'm saying? So like I watch a lot of battle rap like online and YouTube and stuff like that. Like that like gets like that. You can say like it pumps me up or whatever. You know, I get hyped. You know, it energizes me.
Yeah, pregame before you walking on set, you got to get in the zone. You got to, you know, get in the right mindset.
You know what I'm saying? I love battle rap. I love battle rap. As far as the book, I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't read as much as I should. You know what I'm saying? I don't read a lot, but one of the books that specifically has changed me and moved me is there's an acting coach named Craig Wallace.
Okay. Craig Wallace.
And he has a book called The Best of You. And it's basically it's a book about how to audition. You know what I'm saying? How to prepare for an audition and how to be in the audition room. And like that book, like it really helped me as far as my craft. And it really gave me a lot of confidence and really just made me grow and made me a better actor in how I approach auditioning. So it's called The Best of You, and it's by Craig Wallace. Okay. And it's about the audition room.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note of that. All right. So, any more of a general question? Any recent favorite films or some like all-time favorites?
Yes.
You just can't go without.
My favorite film of all time is The Temptations.
Nice.
Like being from Detroit, my grandma she was a big Temptations fan, and like I remember I used to always watch that movie Temptations, and honestly, Leon's performance of David Ruffin in The Temptations made me want to be an actor.
Yeah, he went in.
His performance as David Ruffin that inspired me and made me want to be an actor. Like I loved it. Like I love that movie and I love his performance. So The Temptations, that's my favorite movie all the time. Only because I used to watch that movie so much growing up. And Leon's performance of David Ruffin inspired me to want to become an actor.
Wow, man. I mean, yeah, because I keep forgetting because that movie was like so epic, especially like in our community. You kind of go back and you forget it was like a TV series. It was kind of like a four or
Yes,
five parter, sort of TV
yes.
series, kind of similar to the Jacksons. Like, I mean, the Jackson movie coming up for me was a big one, but yeah, definitely the Temptations. Like, that was epic. See my boy DB Woodside from 24, he was in it too. Yeah, that was a classic
hmm
though. It's a classic.
It's a classic, man. I love that movie.
Awesome. So now, iPhone or Android?
Team iPhone. Come on,
Team
man.
iPhone.
Apple product, baby. Easy.
All right. And tell me a little bit, or Val, about some of your mentors, maybe living or dead, and why you look up to them and what do you learn from them.
Okay, that's an interesting question as far as me having a mentor. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't have any mentors in my life,
Mm-hmm.
but there are people that. Well, first of all, I'm gonna say like I'm the type of person that I am. I really am not influenced by anybody except myself. So there are people out there that motivate me and inspire me,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of the people who inspire me and motivate me, I don't know them personally. Like Denzel Washington is a big inspiration to me. Um, Leonardo DiCaprio, Lorenz Tate, Tom Hanks. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Those people really, really, really inspire me. But to answer your question specifically, I don't have any mentors in my life. I'm really, honestly, a very self-motivated person. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a natural born leader, and I'm influenced by myself, and that's just my truth.
Yeah, man, self motivated. I mean, I like that because I mean, sometimes some people get kind of caught up in always looking back and looking and seeing what everyone else is doing and then pivoting and course
Right.
correcting off of what everyone else is doing. Sometimes you got a good quote I heard a long time ago is that I'm only in competition with myself and I'm only trying to become better than who I was yesterday. So I
Yes.
definitely feel
Yes.
you on
Yes.
that. Sometimes we got to put the blinders on and not look at what everyone else is doing and forge our own path. So much
Yeah.
respect to
And
that.
that's what I'm doing. I'm just becoming the best version of me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. So now, with that in mind, I mean, are there any little things that you do to, like, if you're always looking to become better? I know you mentioned Craig Wallace's book on auditioning. Are there little
hmm
hacks or little things you do each day to help improve a little better, whether it's spiritually, mentally, maybe health wise, or there are little things you try and do each day to kind of move the ball forward, like little
Yeah. Yeah.
hacks? Yeah.
Yeah. What I live life. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And honestly, like I think that has helped me the most as far as my craft and my art is living life. Like I live, and I'm gonna be honest with you. It took me a while. I'm not gonna say how old I am, but it took me a while, and it
Okay.
just happened recently to get to the point where I'm living my life without fear.
Mm.
But really, I just live my life without fear. Like I experience things, and I'm just the more life you live and the more experience you have, I feel like the more you're going to have to pull from as far as an artist to put yourself in those moments that you need to be in. So I live life. Like I'm living my life without fear. Like I'm not scared of heartbreak. I'm not scared of rejection. I'm not scared of trying new things. I'm not scared of challenging myself. I'm not scared to fail. Like I throw myself in anything that I think is uncomfortable, and I always grow. You know what I'm saying? So living life fearlessly and doing everything that what I'm saying might be uncomfortable to me.
Mm-hmm.
I make myself do it. I make myself do it.
Is there
Yeah.
anything that still makes you uncomfortable or kind of like, okay, that goal, I know I need to work on that. Do I need, is there anything you still think about, like, I need to do that this year or that kind of makes you uncomfortable? Well, you want to take it on anyway?
You know what? Like I said, it took me a long time to really get to this point,
Yeah.
to really just live my life without fear and just get out of my comfort zones. But the only thing is, I'm not gonna say this, it makes me uncomfortable, but what I'm in the process of doing in my life right now in 2018 is completely eliminating procrastination.
Mm.
So every morning when I get up, I have it written down next to my bed, like a big like sheet of paper and in bold. What are you procrastinating on? Whatever it is, go do it now. So every day when I wake up, the first thing on my mind is whatever I'm procrastinating on doing, I'm gonna go take care of that today. And it's been really going well with me. Like I'm like I have different daily goals. I set weekly goals, and so forth and so forth. And I'm accomplishing that just by eliminating procrastination out of my life.
Awesome, man. Because that could be a killer. That can be a killer of many dreams. And it's a good strategy, especially like waking up in the morning early. That's a good one. So if we could, I know we're kind of moving along here, and into this territory. What would you say, when you're going through your periods of being uncomfortable and always pushing toward the next goal and the next thing? Do you mind, or Val, sharing with us maybe some of your biggest setbacks or maybe failures that you feel you may have had in the past, and how did you maybe overcome some of them, and what lessons did you take away and learn from it?
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you the most recent one. I'm from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I've been acting for like professionally approximately 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And for the past 3 years, I've been living in Detroit, but I have been traveling and working in Atlanta, LA, New York, and other places. And a big thing for me was Detroit is home. You know what I'm saying? And I was very, very comfortable there.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it was, like, I was living there, but I was rarely ever there. So just getting out of my comfort zone. I just recently moved to Atlanta, like, for real, 2 days after Christmas. So
like just a few weeks ago?
No, like last year, like a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay. All right.
A few weeks ago, I permanently moved. Yeah, nobody ever knew that because I'm always
I didn't know either, brother.
Moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I would, Detroit was Detroit is home, and it was a comfort zone for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it kind of really set me back because I feel like I said, it goes back to me living my life without fear now. Honestly, it was a fear factor for me to move out of Detroit and just fully just go after this. And I feel like it has been like a setback. I feel like, and I'm grateful from where I'm at. Like I've accomplished, I'm saying humbly, I count my blessings a lot in the
Mm-hmm.
short period of time I've been doing this. I've had speaking roles on 10. I think it's 10. I got to look back at my resume. 10 network television series. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing this living in Detroit, Michigan. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like it has been a little setback. I feel like if I would have had the courage to move out of my city
Mm-hmm.
a while ago, I would probably be a lot further ahead. You know what I'm saying? I would. So but you know what I'm saying, we grow, and I've grown in 2000 since last year, and I'm here now, and I'm living my life without fear, and I'm my moment is coming. Like I feel a real big breakthrough coming from my career,
All right,
and
man.
I'm really working really, really hard towards that.
Man, you're already breaking through, bro. You're inspiring, and now looking. What do you feel is next? I mean, we're now we've gone back, we've gone through your beginnings, we've gone through the initial breakthroughs with Atlanta and whatnot. So what's next as far as looking 1 year out, 3 years out? do you have a long-term plan as far as I'm gonna hit this goal this time, that time, or you kind of just living for now and just seeing what happens? What's like an overall goal you have, like long-term, for maybe a
Well,
milestone coming up or a few years out?
okay. Well, just from working in this business, I've been doing it professionally for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been told by people who are very successful in this industry, what I'm saying? They say it takes 10 years to become an overnight success.
Mm-hmm.
So, keeping that in mind, what I'm saying? Everybody's story is not going to be the same, what I'm saying? So when we get off this phone, I could get a call that could change my life. But I do have goals, like just to give you some short-term goals, like my goal for 2018 is to book a reoccurring role on a series. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
for the past 2 years, I've been booking, co-star roles on different television shows.
Mm-hmm.
But a goal of mine is to book a recurring role on a television series. I really want to, like, within the next 3 years, I want to be a series regular. I want to be a series regular on a television series. And if my dream would be, I would have my own show, kind of like how Martin had the Martin Show,
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Foxx had Jamie Foxx, Will Smith had the Fresh Prince. Like, I would love to have my own show. You know what I'm saying? And break into the... And I really love, like, what I'm saying, Will Smith and Jamie Foxx's career, just to talk about them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they started off on television as series regulars in comedic roles. And then as they got older, and which I feel like when you get older, the roles get better, they start doing movies. You know what I'm saying? And I would love for my career to take off like that. I would love to be a series regular. And then as I get older and I can play like the older roles, become a big film and movie star. So yeah, like those are my goals. But all in all, the most important goal to me, if I could get to the point where I'm doing this full time and I'm able to take care of myself and the people who I love,
Mm-hmm.
I would be, that's success. I've already reached success. Like, as far as awards and all of that, I'm honestly have no expectation on myself, or I'm not going for that. I don't really, like, I'm very secure in my talent,
Mm-hmm.
and I honestly don't really feel like I need the validation. I do this because it really brings me joy. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to make a living off doing this, and wake up every day and I'm living my dream. So that's success to me.
It's awesome, man. It's awesome. I don't want to put anything else on top of that. You pretty much said all there is. So where can, Orval, as we wrap up here, where can listeners go to find out more about you? Obviously, you're on the come up. You could tell us about maybe any other additional projects you have coming up. Give us your social media handles or webpage or whatever it is. Feel free to shout those out so our listeners can keep up with you.
Of course. So there's this very popular search engine called Google,
Oh.
and you can actually Google me. I have a unique name, so if you Google Orval Williams, and everything's pretty much up to date. Like, all of my work, social media, everything, IMDb,
Mm-hmm.
my YouTube account, everything is on Google. So you can actually Google my name. And also, man, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, add me on Facebook. I accept all friend requests, and I follow everybody back. You know what I'm saying?
Team
if
follow
you follow
back.
me on IG, huh?
Team follow back.
Yeah, for sure. Team follow back. But like, on Instagram, I'm a little bit more heavier on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, me too.
I'm a very transparent person. So if you want to really know, you feel me? Or Val Williams, follow me on IG. Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I got I'm active on Facebook, but to me, Facebook is just a lot of traffic on there. It's, you got your family,
Mm-hmm.
you got all types of people on there. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not as um, I'm not as transparent on Facebook as I am on Instagram. So,
I hear
follow
you.
me on IG, and I'm gonna follow you back at Orval Williams on all social media platforms, and type my name on a Google search. You know what I'm saying? I got some handsome pictures out there.
All righty, man. So I think that's about it. So Orval, as we conclude, I want to kind of go over one more little nugget. Maybe you could share with the audience. Tell me a little
Okay.
bit about what legacy means to you, how you want your legacy to be remembered, and maybe just three key. It's kind of like a two-parter. So like three key lessons or three key takeaways that either actors or anyone listening they can walk away with. So I guess you could just address the legacy question first, and then we'll do the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as legacy, I you know what I'm saying, my definition is like how are you going to be remembered, and how I'm going to be remembered from everybody, especially the people who know me personally.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, is a genuine person. Like, I'm a very well-rounded, transparent person, and I'm genuinely and I'm unapologetically myself, and people are gonna remember me for that. You know what I'm saying? He was all, I'm myself around every and anybody in any situation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a good person. I'm a good-hearted person, and that's how people are gonna remember me.
Awesome.
Always being my unapologetic self.
Epic. And what would you say what are people listening, both actors and the general audience, what are three keys, maybe three key lessons you'd say you tell people about getting ahead in life and career?
I love this question because and this is perfect because a lot of actors, you know what I'm saying, they come to me and they ask for acting advice. The number one, okay, well, we're going to do three.
Okay.
Number one, you need to, just like any other business or any other profession, you need to study and learn the craft. You need to learn what you're doing. You can't be a doctor without going to medical school. You can't be a lawyer without going to law school. So don't think that necessarily you can become an actor without studying and learning your craft. You know what I'm saying? And there's all different types of ways of doing it. I'm not saying that you have to go get a BFA or MFA, or you have to take this certain acting class, but you know what I'm saying, I read books, you know what I'm saying, but you definitely need to learn your craft and what you're doing. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, you need to create your own content. Like, the way the industry is now, and I'm in the process of practicing what I preach. Like, I feel like, and I'm swallowing this pill myself. Like, I feel like I am not, or Val Williams is not going to become a star until I create the project that's going to make me a star. So you really have to take responsibility of your own career, and you have to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm working on practicing what I'm preaching, and I'm swallowing this pill. Like, I can continue to, you know what I'm saying, continue to make guest star and co-star appearances on different television series in hopes that one day, like, I'm just going to become a household name, or I can go out there and create my own content and create a project that's going to make me a star. So you have to create your own content.
Okay.
You have to. And number three, You have to be doing this for the right reason. Because I'm going to be honest with you, this business, just like being a doctor or a lawyer, yeah, you can go to law school and become a lawyer. You can go to medical school, and eventually you're going to become a doctor or a lawyer. With this business, it is no guarantees. You could be doing this for 10, 20, 30 years and never, ever reach the level of success with it that you want. So it's important that you need to be doing this for the right reasons, because if not, you're going to give up. You're going to quit. And that's just the truth. You just make sure you're doing this for the right reasons. So number one, study the craft. Learn about acting and what you're doing. Number two, create your own content and take responsibility of your own career. And number three, do this for the right reasons. And the right reason should be that you love it. And that's why I'm in it.
So, Orval, one last question. Looking back, would you change a thing? If so, why? If not, why?
Looking back, I wouldn't change anything. You know what I'm saying? Because every trial and tribulation that I felt pain from, it was needed, and it really made me the person who I am presently, and I needed it. So I wouldn't change anything. Like I love life. I'm a very happy person, and life has been good to me. The good outweighs the bad. Thus far in my life, the good far outweighs the bad, and so I wouldn't change anything.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. I'm at a loss for words, man. So you guys hear the first Career Pulse podcast. We've officially kicked off season 2 with my boy Orval Williams reporting from Atlanta. So many nuggets here, so many takeaways, man. It was awesome talking with you, brother. And this definitely won't be the last time. Anything else you'd like to say?
I want to say, Hayward, I appreciate you, while I got you on air, being persistent for me. Being persistent, because I'm going to be honest, like, this is probably one of my first interviews, and I really don't like doing interviews.
Yeah.
But you were very persistent, and we did it. And I've grown from this situation, and I would definitely do it again, man. I appreciate you for being persistent, and we got it done. Let's get it.
All right, man. Appreciate you, too. All right, I'll be in touch, man. Definitely take care down there, and Godspeed. Let's go make it happen. Let's keep getting our dreams out.
Let's get it.
All right, man. Take care.
All right. Yep.
Alrighty, so you guys heard the exclusive first. Once again, Orval Williams, he can currently be seen on the Netflix original series Drug Lords. And he can also be followed on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Orval Williams. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, took a lot of good takeaways. Not only did he mention, we got to see kind of behind the curtain some of his experiences on set, setbacks and whatnot. But we also got to see really, what drives him. What was his mindset, mental toughness. So definitely really good things. I could really predict him going really far as what he's looking to do. And, couldn't be more excited for what we have in store. So once again, guys, Career Pulse Podcast, continue looking out for us on social media, # Career Pulse Podcast, and looking forward as we continue to march through season 2. Take care and have a good one.